All right, my friends, I'm going to tell you my experience with Lyft. I used to be a driver for Lyft, and Lyft disabled my account because they believed lies from my passengers. It seems that the passengers have more privilege than the drivers. And I, as a driver, I was always loyal to Lyft. I was always loyal as a good worker. But I will tell you my experience of what had happened to me. I usually used to drive night shifts because I am a night person. And at night time, you find all those crazy people that you pick up from the bars, nightclubs, and many more places. I mean, crazy people, weird people that may be crazy, some other aggressive, some other racist that discriminated me only because I am Hispanic, others drunk, engaged to a very bad behavior. And I had to take all that humiliation from those passengers. Passengers who humiliated me only because I am a Latin American. So racism exists. Although the Constitution of the United States says that we are against any type of racism, we do see racism here. I live in Orlando, Florida, and I have seen it. So I had all that type of passengers. I will tell you some of the stories that happened to me while being a driver for Lyft. So there was a time at nighttime when I picked up a couple, a marriage. They were supposedly married. They were engaged to a fight before getting in my car. So when they got in my car, the fight continued. So the guy was very angry at her and was threatening her with a very bad behavior. So he made me stop 2 times in the middle of the road wanting to get off, but then he changed his mind again and got in. And it was annoying me, really annoying me, that fight in my back seat. So I told them to stop and they continued. I told them to stop again and they continued. So I had to tell them, you have to get off because you are in my car and that goes against Lyft policy. That type of behavior won't be tolerated by me. So you have to get off. So I told them. So I warned them more than 2 times and they wouldn't listen. Now, what happened after that? I reported the incident to Lyft. And the only thing that they did was that they unpaired me with those passengers, saying, we unmatched you, you will never be matched with them again. That was the only thing they did. They didn't do anything else. So I had to take the humiliation. And do you know what those passengers did later on? They submitted false comments to Lyft, saying that I was under the influence of drugs while driving. That was a big lie. And why did they lie? Because I told them how to behave in my car. And they, in revenge, submitted that false comment. And Lyft believed them. I tried to explain them that that was a lie and they believed them. And Lyft disabled my account. On what grounds? Was there any proof or evidence that what they were saying was true? Or they just submitted that false negative comment to take revenge on me because I told them how to behave in my car? My life was put to danger. I didn't know if that guy had a gun in his hand. He was aggressive. He got into a fight with his wife in my backseat. He was already drunk. I could tell, but Lyft didn't do anything. The only thing that Lyft did was believed them for the lie they told them, saying that I was under the effect of drugs. I have never been under the effects of any drugs or any other substance, and I can undergo a drug test to prove it. So I lost my job with Lyft because of that lie. Lyft believes in lies from the passengers. They give more credit to the passenger than to the driver. A driver who have always been loyal to them, always faithful to them, giving profit to them because they deducted a percentage of my earnings. What was my loyalty for Lyft? Lyft humiliated me by believing in those lies. Those passengers lied. Do you know why? Because they didn't like when I told them, behave in my car. You can't fight in my car. Because I am not safe with you here. You will break a window glass from my car if you continue to be engaged to that fight. So they didn't like it when I berated them, when I told them not to do that. So in revenge, they submitted a comment saying that I was under the effect of drugs, because they wanted me to be fired. They wanted Lyft to fire me. They said, let me screw up this man here now. Let me put his job to risk. I'm going to submit a false comment, and Lyft will never know because there is no proof or evidence. So they told Lyft that I was under the effect of drugs, and Lyft believed it. It is against human rights to accuse someone without submitting any proof or evidence. So Lyft management believed the false comment, the lie that those passengers said, that I was under the effect of drugs. Those who know me, who have always known me, they know that I have never in my life tried drugs. I am not that type of person, and I don't think I will ever be. So in this video, I'm blaming Lyft openly for believing in those lies. But that was not the only story. Let me tell you a few more stories. Before that case, there was a guy, I picked up a guy at around 2 a.m. in the morning. The guy asked me if he could smoke in my car. I told him that I was sorry. I'm sorry, my friend, but I don't let passengers smoke in my car because the smell of the smoke sits in my car, and then other passengers may perceive that smell and complain. I mean, other non-smokers, passengers, will perceive the smoke smell and will complain. That happened to me once, for letting somebody smoke in my car. So the smell seated in my car, and I had to pay a detailed clean of my car for allowing that passenger to smoke in my car. So what was the result? The passenger got angry at me because I didn't let him smoke, and told me, why you don't let me smoke if other Lyft drivers let me smoke? And I explained him, my friend, don't compare me with other drivers. I don't know if they let you smoke or not, but in my car, I won't allow any passenger to smoke because I always keep my car clean, with a good clean and a good smell. I hope you understand that. If you want, you can get off, smoke your cigarette, I will wait for you, and then you go in. But he didn't want to. He insisted on smoking in my car. I told him, if you continue to insist on smoking, you have to get off, cancel the trip, and request another Lyft that allows you to smoke. So that passenger submitted another false comment. Do you get the point? When the passenger gets angry because the driver didn't let him do whatever, they in revenge submit false comments, and Lyft management believes in those false comments and fire his loyal drivers like the way they fire me. I am a family man. I support my family, and I lost my job with Lyft because of those false comments that passengers submitted in revenge because I told them how to behave in my car. So now I tell to Lyft management, am I supposed to take that humiliation just because the passenger has more privilege than the driver? Am I supposed to put my pride down and allow them to do whatever? Because if not, they will submit false comments that you will believe with no proof or evidence. That is against the law to accuse somebody with no proof. It's against the law to believe in something that wasn't true if there is no evidence or proof. I couldn't do any legal thing against you, but I wish I could. I lost my job and I was very unjust. How would I support my family? I had to find another job quick. You didn't care about my economical situation or my family's situation. You just believed in those passengers and gave them more credit than me, someone who was loyal to you and gave my time to you and gave a percentage of my earnings to you. I'm very angry. Let me tell you that I am very angry and displeased. Many other stories. Drunk people was the major concern I had. All the drunk people that I used to pick up from the bars and nightclubs, because I was doing night shift. I like doing night shift. The very bad behavior that they are engaged to. Some of them, one of them wanted to beat me up one night. I had to cope with the situation somehow. Some others have insulted me, telling me all type of insults and aggressive words, and I was taking that. Okay, now let me ask you something, Lyft management. Am I supposed to accept that humiliation from passengers only because the passenger is our main focus and have more privilege? I, your driver, someone who was loyal to you many months, am I supposed to take the humiliation and do nothing, keep my mouth shut? Just because I am afraid that they will submit a false comment in revenge, which they always did, submitting false comment and lies, saying, okay, this driver told me how to behave, okay, now in revenge I'm going to submit a false comment and say that he is driving under the effect of drugs, that he was not, that he wasn't nice, that he was impolite, that this, that, all those negative comments intentionally sent in the feedback weekly report because they wanted to put my job to risk. Why? Because I told them how to behave in my car. Am I supposed to put my pride down and say, oh please don't submit false comments or negative comments because I don't want to be fired? Please, I will take whatever humiliation, I will take your racism, I will take your aggressiveness. You can spit in my face, I will do nothing because I know that Lyft will believe you more than me and you will submit negative comments. Is that, I'm asking you, Lyft management, is that what I am supposed to do? Humiliate myself, put my pride down and tell them I am not supposed to do that. Okay, and I will never tolerate that. So I am blaming Lyft management for having believed in those lies. And I will never recommend Lyft to anybody. Absolutely to anybody. Because they will believe the passengers more than the rider. Because they will believe lies. And we always continue to believe lies with no proof because the passenger has more privilege. So if you want to become a Lyft driver, keep something in mind. You will have to take whatever humiliations from passengers. Say nothing, because if you say something, Lyft will believe the passenger more than the driver. That's humiliation. I will never recommend Lyft to anybody. get away from Lyft. They believe lies from passengers. They will fire a family man. They won't care if that man has a family. If that driver was a family man, they will fire him. They will give more credit to the passengers, to the riders. Maybe because the riders give them money, but I as a driver gave them money too, because they took 25% of my earnings every week. So I was giving money too to Lyft management. Why they did not believe me and believe in those lies? Okay, that's my message. I sent this message to Lyft itself because they didn't listen to me. When I reported that all those comments were lied, they did not believe me. They ignored me. They gave more credit to the passenger. They did not respond to my messages. They ignored me. Someone that who was loyal to them and faithful to them for many months, giving them the 25th% of my earnings. So they did not believe me when I tried to defend myself against those negative comments and false comments. There were times, let me say something else to finish. There were times when my life was put to danger because I was doing night shift. I was working all night. In more than 2 occasions, I had to go into dark neighborhoods to pick up someone, and 2 guys they were with a very suspicious look. So when I saw them, I had to run away. I didn't know if they had a gun in their hands. By the way they looked at me, that was very suspicious. What if one of them puts a gun in my head one day and kill me? In 2 occasions, my life was put to danger because of that. So look at how many ordeals and tough times I went through. And in spite of that, I was loyal to Lyft. And Lyft fired me unjustly, in an unfair manner, because some passengers submitted false comments in revenge because I told them how to behave in my car. So am I supposed to accept humiliations and do nothing? Am I supposed to take whatever insult against me just because I can't do anything? Because I would be fired. I would be fired if they submit false comments, so I better let them do whatever they want to do. Great. So I don't care if this message it's something that you don't like. I don't care. I went through a very tough time when you fired me. I went through a very tough economical time when you disabled my account because somebody said that I was driving under the effect of drugs, which was a lie, a big lie, an unjustifiable lie, and you believed it. Okay, continue believing in lies. This message will run and I will spread this everywhere I can because that was unjust. And when I went to a lawyer, the lawyer said I can't do anything. So it seems that I am helpless, hopeless. Nobody wants to do anything. But they fired me. And you put my family in a very tough economical situation. That's not funny. Goodbye.